I feel the need for speed. This Friday on March 4th, when Gran Turismo 7 is finally hitting the PS5. I've been waiting for this game for God knows how long. Been waiting for Gran Turismo to come to the PS5 and to reap all the benefits of the PS5's graphics and power. And we're going to be racing this Friday on Gran Turismo 7. I'm going to be playing it and streaming it on the YouTube channel, so come join me. I'll be streaming it here on YouTube. I'll also be streaming it on Twitch. I'll probably be streaming from around like lunchtime Central Time, so about 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be starting the stream on Friday, so come join us for a little bit of racing action. I might even break out the Logitech G29 and see how that works with the PlayStation 5, because I've not had a chance to try it yet. But the reviews are starting to come out. Everyone that had early access is starting to give their opinions on what they think of the game, and I'm curious to see. So before we get into this video, smash the like if you can, if you're excited for Gran Turismo. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon if you love racing games, if you love gaming in general, if you love 3D printing, virtual reality, tech, everything that I like, you probably like it too, hence why you're here. So thank you for stopping by. I love you. I appreciate your time. Let's take a look at the Polygon's review of Gran Turismo 7 from somebody called Ollie Welsh. I'll put his Twitter handle down in the video description. I'll also put the link to the article down in the video description if you want to take a look at it yourself. Polygon's one of my favorite gaming news websites. Definitely recommend you check it out from time to time. So without further ado, let's get into this review and see what Ollie thinks of Gran Turismo 7. So I'm definitely not a stranger to Gran Turismo Sport, right? I've probably put at least 100 hours possibly into Gran Turismo Sport. I've played hundreds of hours of Gran Turismo over the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, even the PSP. I didn't play that many Gran Turismo games on the PlayStation 3, I will admit. But the PS4 came out, Gran Turismo Sport came out, and I fell in love. There's something about Gran Turismo Sport that's just different to Forza. Forza, I feel like, as much as I loved here's the thing. Forza came out. I used to play a lot of Forza. Forza Motorsport, and I loved everything that they brought to that, like the auction houses, being able to like have all the custom designs for your cars, custom like liveries and whatnot. I loved Forza, but as time went on, the Forza franchise, I feel like just got more arcadey and more arcadey. The physics it just didn't feel great as a racing game. One of my favorite racing games, arcadey racing games, was Grid, the original Grid, and I feel like that's got more arcadey as time went on as well. But there was something I felt in Grid that I haven't felt in a long time until Gran Turismo Sport came out. It just the way the car felt on the track, the way it felt with the controller, being able to get into the slipstream of cars, it just felt like the perfect balance between arcade and simulation games, right, and racing. So I fell in love with Gran Turismo Sport, and I basically ditched Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon. I play a little bit of Forza Horizon from time to time just to ogle at the beautiful graphics and whatnot, but Gran Turismo Sport just like grabbed me by the heart and just ran away with it, right? I love Gran Turismo Sport. I love how Polyphony Digital have been working on this franchise for decades, right? And it's just, it's something that I've played since my childhood, really. So if there's anybody that could give you a good perspective on what Gran Turismo 7 is like, it's probably going to be me, because I've played a lot of it over the years, and I've really shown a big interest in Gran Turismo Sport when that came out and put lots and lots of hours. I even got a racing wheel, got the shifter, you name it. I love it. I love racing games. And I'm absolutely dying to get stuck into Gran Turismo 7. So without further ado, let's read Ollie Welsh's review of Gran Turismo 7 on Polygon.com. Like I said, there's a link in the description for it. So Gran Turismo 7 is the granddaddy of racing games in more ways than one. Aging gracefully, Polyphony's racing series has never seemed more like itself. As a splash screen reminds you when you boot up Gran Turismo 7, this is the 25th anniversary year of Sony's flagship PlayStation racing game. It's also been more than 8 years and one whole console generation since we last saw a mainline numbered entry into the series. The 2013 PlayStation 3 swan song, Gran Turismo 6, These long spans of time loom large over the new game. Maybe they explain why it's so preoccupied with legacy. In the quarter century since the real driving simulator became a sensation with its involved physics, grainy photorealism, our relationship with cars has changed. Climate change has forced a re-evaluation, and the internal combustion engine is on the way out. Can cars even be cool in 2022? You won't find as many people talking about car culture anymore. Director Kazunori Yama Yamauchi said recently, adding that GT7 had been built with this new reality in mind. So that is true. I mean, as much as I hate to see it, combustion engines are on the way out. Everything's, countries are starting to make bold claims saying, like, by 2026, we're not going to sell a single gasoline powered car, right? It's all going to go electric. The way that the way of Tesla, basically Tesla and a lot of these new EVs that are hitting the market. I want a Tesla. A Tesla would be my dream car. But anyways, yeah. So they're keeping that in mind. Car culture is definitely changing. It's definitely not the same as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Our relationship with racing games has changed too. In the years since Gran Turismo 6, back then its main competitor was the Forza Motorsport series, which was made in GT's image. Today, an upstart spin-off from those games has become a popular phenomenon by putting vibes first and borrowing the design of open-world adventures, culminating in a magnificent Forza Horizon 5, in which the cars and the racing were only part of the point. So here's a screenshot. God, this game looks so good. In 2017, though, developer Polyphony Digital looked to the future with Gran Turismo Sport, a multiplayer-first, live service-inspired detour. It got many things right, not least the way it brought driver and safety rating systems from hardcore simulator iRacing into a more approachable arena. But it launched as a slender shadow of what the public expects of a Gran Turismo game. A traditional single-player campaign was only patched in as an afterthought, and many GT features, including the car modification system that has always been a hallmark of the series, never made it in. But it should be making it in Gran Turismo 7. It's going to be like going back to the roots, back to the old Gran Turismo I used to play in PS2. Being able to buy used cars, tune them up, make them your own, give them a car wash, right? A lot of that stuff was magical about the original Gran Turismo games. So the fact that they're bringing it back with Gran Turismo 7, it's got me super excited. This is the world Yamauchi and his team strive to confront in Gran Turismo 7. They seem to want it to be the Gran Turismo that fans remember. With all the features they love, they want, quite desperately it seems, to get people excited about cars again. They want this all-encompassing series to carry all its baggage, plus over a century of motoring history into the future. It's a testament to their enormous skill and passion that they largely succeed. Despite its big ambitions, the wealth of content, Gran Turismo 7 always feels slick and manageable, and it's a treat to see Polyphony Digital bring its renowned technical gloss to the PlayStation 5, but still, it's not what you would call light on its feet. At times, it seems hemmed in by tradition, and at others, held back by a heavy guiding hand. That's one thing I've never been too fond of in Gran Turismo, or at least Gran Turismo Sport, was the UI. I feel like the UI could be a little bit slicker. Very much more like the Forza franchise. I love the graphic design and the design and love and care that goes into the UI on Forza games. I feel like the design around Gran Turismo, it feels foreign to me a little bit now. It feels like it's stuck back in the PlayStation 2 era. But some say that would maybe be a good thing, I'm not sure. But despite its user interface, I still, in the design of the menus and whatnot, I still obviously love the game regardless because of the physics engine and how it feels, as a racing game. And that's not to say it's without its eccentric flights of fancy that have you livened up, that have long livened up a series with an undeserved reputation for dryness. GT6, after all, took you to the surface of the moon. Before you could even see the main menu, Gran Turismo 7 throws you into a round of Music Rally, a hilariously gauche new time attack minigame in which you try to cover as much distance as possible in the length of one song, as if making a play for the lucrative octogenarian demographic. Yamauchi's opening gambit is to sit you behind the wheel of a 1956 Porsche to the strains of Hooked on Classics Part 1 and 2. The next round has you buzzing around Tokyo in a tiny Honda while Idris Elba raps at you. It's the exact opposite of cool, but it's very charming. Once in the game proper, you're introduced to another Gran Turismo 7 innovation, the GT Cafe. Here, while enjoying the relaxed ambience and smooth jazz, you pick up the menus, which are essentially quests that both gate and curate your progress through the game, gradually unlocking tracks, championships, and futures, as well as rewarding you with cars. The cafe is also where you'll fall into conversation of a sort with a collection of stock car talking heads who are eager to educate you on automotive history, as they are to guide you around the game. Some of them are real life car designers and Gran Turismo players, but they all speak with the same stilted, awkward yet strangely sentimental voice. The voice of Gran Turismo, the voice of Yamauchi, perhaps. There's me thinking this was a screenshot from the game. No, this is an advert for a Honda Passport Trail Sport. Never mind. There's me like, oh, those graphics are... Look at those graphics. Does Gran Turismo look that realistic? No, it's an ad of an actual car. The cafe is both a boon and a handicap for Gran Turismo 7. As a guided tour of the game and its garage of cars, it's thoughtful and a welcome contrast to the basic grid of events that previous Gran Turismos would unceremoniously dump on players. But as the main spine of the campaign, it's linear and restrictive. It doles out unlocks at such a cautious, steady pace that you can be a dozen hours into the game before you truly have the freedom to just pick something you fancy driving and can find an event to suit. And I think that actually works in its favor a little bit, because back in the old Gran Turismo games, I feel like you started out with very little. They'd give you like an old clunky, rusty rust bucket of a car, right? And you'd have to win races and work your way up the ladder slowly to afford new cars, to afford upgrade parts. And you would eventually, after putting hours and hours into the game and winning races and putting the time and effort into it, you would eventually get to being in the position where you could buy the cars that you actually want. So I like that. I like the fact that they don't just throw everything at you. And I think that's one of the downsides of Forza. Honestly, I feel like Forza just throws the kitchen sink at you from the get go. Like, you could go into the auction house, start buying cars. I just feel like Forza gives you so much so fast. You don't really have time to appreciate the grind to start, building your way up from nothing to getting, driving a Porsche or a Ferrari. So I kind of like that. I think that actually, that's good for the game. Maybe not everyone likes it. If you're 13 years old or any age really, and you just want to get in, buy Gran Turismo 7 and just buy yourself like the top line Ferrari and just start racing it around the track. I can understand I can understand why you might be a bit jilted by that, but I enjoy the grind. I want to start off in like an old Honda and just race, win races, earn money, and then upgrade my Honda, win more races, make more money, and just work my way up. I think that's something I really enjoyed about old Gran Turismo games, and I'm glad they've brought it back. So here is the GT Cafe, basically. Okay. The economy has a similarly sluggish pace. The rate at which you earn credits feels slow, with many desirable cars remaining out of reach long into the game. It's equally possible to blow most of your cash in tuning up your favorite ride. It's just keeping up with the entry requirements of events can necessitate going off piece to grind for credits. Gran Turismo has always had strong familial links to Japanese role-playing games, embracing concepts like grinding and overleveling that Western racing games usually seek to mitigate. And like I said, that's something I like about Gran Turismo, and it's something I'll look forward to. I mean, it's going to keep you coming back. You're not going to just blow through like race some of the best cars in the game and be like, nah, I don't need to try some of the crappier ones. I could play. I could race in some Ferraris, some Porsches, some the Tesla, and then a week later you're bored of it, right? You've played the best of what the game has to offer. So I like that sort of RPG element where you have to work your way up. It makes you appreciate more cars basically, and it makes you it's almost like real life a little bit, where you do start off with nothing and you do have to work your way up to get some of the nicer cars, and it burns the fire inside you. You want to put more time in the game. You want to level up your cars. You want to buy upgrades. You want to win races and earn money so you could buy the better cars. I like that. I bloody love that. I don't know what Ollie's talking about. I understand a little bit. But anyways, GT7's economy seems cynically engineered to encourage players to buy credits from the PlayStation Store. No, I don't believe that at all. I think you can if you want. spend real money to buy cars that you want. That is something that they had in Gran Turismo Sport. There'd be a time where they'd release a new car pack or something, or they'd release a new car, and rather they'd give you the option. You could either buy it for credits, which is fine if you have the credits. If you've won enough races, put enough time in the game, you could buy cars just fine. But it doesn't lock you out of it altogether. If you do want to buy credits to buy the car, you can, and they don't charge obnoxious prices either. If you're used to playing games like Call of Duty Warzone, where they'll charge you like $25 for a couple of skins, like a couple of gun skins and whatnot. They don't charge you that at all. It's literally like a couple of dollars to unlock a new car that they've released. It's like really affordable, and I don't have any issue with it. They're not gouging people. They're just selling these digital skins and digital cars for what they're worth, I think, considering thousands of people buy them. They're not like gouging people for profits. So I don't think it's as bad as other games where you can sort of pay to win. I think it's pretty reasonable, and it just allows people not to be locked out of getting stuff that they want. On the other hand, needing to think about how you spend your money and lusting for exotic cars that seem out of reach can feel like a welcome corrective to the absurd "it's raining cars" overabundance of Forza Horizon. That's what I was saying. That's what I was talking about. On the track, though, this is quintessential Gran Turismo, boasting both exquisite technical refinement and the dedication to the same principles upon which the series was founded in the late 90s. The handling model remains the best this side of PC simulators, blending credibility and approachability with a tactile, planted feel that's a world away from the theatrical drifting of Forza Horizon. The DualSense is Sony's best controller for racing games yet, which has as much to do with its sturdy ergonomics as its fancy haptic feedback. And that's one thing I cannot wait to try out. The haptics on the DualSense 5 controller. I think being able to play a racing game with this and feel the car, like feel the brakes and everything, feel the traction on the track, is going to be a game changer. And it's something that's one of the main things I've been looking forward to trying out when Gran Turismo 7 came out. It's been a long wait, I'm telling you. It's from the moment this game was announced to where we are now. It feels like an eternity. But we're going to finally get to try it on Friday, and I'm super excited. And I hope you'll join me for the live stream. So back to the review. The adaptive triggers communicate the stiffness of the brakes and any loss of traction under throttle, while the wide-ranging rumble brings the physicality of the car to life. Improved audio plays a big part as well, once again eschewing the heightened approach of other games in favour of something more muted, but also more communicative, especially when it comes to wind and tyre noise. So definitely another reason why I recommend getting a gaming headset, guys. I used to be the guy. I used to be the sort of person that would be fine just listening to the TV audio, right, when playing games. But let me tell you, when I bought this Arctis 7X headset, the SteelSeries Arctis 7X headset, it's changed gaming completely. Like the immersion, like how it's made me appreciate the audio in a lot of these games. Like being able to put a headset on and hear, like in a shooting game like Tarkov or Call of Duty Warzone, being able to hear where the footsteps are coming from, being able to hear the tire noises, the squealing of the tires, the, just the exhaust and stuff in racing games. And like it says, the footsteps when you're playing shooter games, being able to hear if they're up here to your right, up above, down below, behind you. It gives you that full 360 degree audio, and it really is a game changer. So if you don't have a gaming headset like this one, you don't have to buy a SteelSeries Arctis 7X or nothing. Although this does work on PlayStation 5 and Xbox and PC and Switch, it works on everything. Whereas the 7P, I think, only works for PlayStation 5 and obviously PC and etc. So that's why I went for the 7X, because it works on Xbox as well as PS5. But anyways, get a gaming headset, regardless of what brand, because you will not regret it, especially for a game like this. It's all about that immersion, right? I can't wait to see the graphics as well. That looks so good, doesn't it? I know, God, I could go on and on about... Like, Gran Turismo Sport is one of the most beautiful looking games, and so being able to upgrading it to the PS5, it's going to look even better. And that looks like, that looks like a UI thing, right? A new UI element that allows you to see the gap between you and the car in front. That is really nice. That's one thing also that I really love about the UI in Gran Turismo, is the fact that they make it so easy to like know where you are in relative, in relation to other cars. And they've almost got like a little radar thing that tells you like how close you are to the car in front, etc. Just a lot of love and care with like the UI in terms of like true racing fans. A lot of true like proper racing fans want to know if they're in the slipstream, if they're behind the car, like how close they are to the car in front. The telemetry data telling you like how many milliseconds you are, how many milliseconds you've gained to the car ahead on the next lap. Stuff like that is means the world to me as a racing game fan. I used to watch a lot of Formula One, so I'm used to seeing that telemetry. So when I play a game like Forza that doesn't take that stuff seriously, doesn't give you the telemetry, doesn't tell you like how many milliseconds you improved on the next lap, or compared to the previous lap. When a racing game doesn't have that, it just doesn't feel like a good racing game to me. So Gran Turismo Sports hit the nail on the head, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they've added in Gran Turismo 7. Polyphony remains at the cutting edge of graphics rendering too. Gran Turismo 7 is visually astonishing, be it the ray traced replays, the scarcely believable photo mode, or in the silky smooth racing action, which boasts gorgeous dynamic time of day and weather transitions at its best. The game can conjure an acute, utterly believable sense of time and place. I won't forget chasing taillights through the flickering fingers of fog as the sun went down over Australia's Mount Panorama circuit. As a Gran Turismo fan who hasn't had the full fat apologies. As a Gran Turismo fan who hasn't had the full fat Gran Turismo experience in 8 years, I just want to gorge myself on all of this. Which is why the overly patient hand-holding can grate. I want to bastardize perfectly good road cars into snarling, wide-bodied racing monstrosities and use the new livery editor to plaster them with garish decals. I want to obsessively check the used car dealership and hope that my favourite pre-2000s classics might show up. I want to browse rims, pointlessly wash my car and change its oil in GT Auto. I want to photograph the Yunos Roadster MK1, which I own in real life, in front of famous world landmarks in Escapes mode. I want to read the paragraphs of scholarly detail included for every single vehicle in the car collection. I want to chase golds in the Stern license tests, and even better, in the wonderfully varied mission racing scenarios which have made their return from GT Sport. But does any of this make sense in 2022 for someone who doesn't already belong to the Church of Gran Turismo? It's luxurious, but it's also highly specific, both the love of cars and to the subtly off-kilter, defiantly uncool culture of Gran Turismo itself. The guiding principle holding it all together is Yamauchi's quixotic mission to preserve, curate, and evangelize all of car culture, a mission he's been pursuing in earnest since at least 2004, when he included the 1886 Daimler motor carriage, among other curiosities, in the sprawling Gran Turismo 4. I think Gran Turismo 4 might be in the game that I played. I'll need to check that. Let me see. Search Google for Gran Turismo 4. Was this the one I played? I think it was, actually. Yes, I think Gran Turismo 4 is actually one of the games that I wanted for the longest time, and I was so tickled when I finally got it. I've loved Gran Turismo since the PS1 or PS2. Gran Turismo 7 is probably the most complete expression of that urge yet. It's authoritative, enthusiastic, and touchingly sincere, but also a bit stuffy and didactic and old-fashioned, like a favoured oddball uncle cornering you at a family gathering. Look at this, dude. Car wash, oil change, engine overhaul, restore rigidity, wide body, like the things that they let you change. They've basically given us everything that we wanted from a Gran Turismo game that wasn't in Gran Turismo Sport. Like Gran Turismo Sport, when I played it the first time, I'm like, this is perfect, but it's missing so much from the original games, like being able to wash your car, like changing the oil, like going into an auction house and trying to buy something at a discount, being able to buy a used, rundown car with like 200,000 miles or something on it and trying to repair it and, work on it, and being able to do it in a game with a level of realism that you just won't get unless you actually buy these cars in real life. It's pretty cool. So it's important to highlight Gran Turismo 7 also includes the multiplayer sport mode, which GT Sport was named. It's only been possible to do limited testing ahead of the game's launch, but it already seems safe to assume that it will continue to be leagues ahead of any other competitive racing experience available on consoles. Though hardly a casual mode, it's far more approachable for players of average skill like myself than the PC Sims, yet it captures everything that makes those Sims great. The fairness, the sportsmanship, and the exciting sense of event that builds around each race. Through qualifying and warm-up periods, there are simple online lobbies too, as well as casual hangout spaces and even a two-player local split-screen mode. So if it's ever tempting to think that polyphony has been left behind by the times, we should remember that the sport mode is its greatest achievement of the last decade, and that it remains without peer in its field. And if it seems striking that Gran Turismo and its closest current mass market competitor, Forza Horizon, now seem to be operating in different worlds stylistically, philosophically, and structurally, we should consider ourselves to be lucky to be able to enjoy two such distinctive approaches, both executed at the highest level. With Gran Turismo 7, the Gran Turismo continues to be glorious anomaly. A glorious anomaly, a game made with different goals and to different standards than any other. A game made in service to a singular individual vision. A game that's all science and engineering on the outside and all history and heart to within. What an amazing review. Go check out Polygon, obviously, and then go check out Ollie Welsh on Twitter. Give him a follow, because that was a well written, beautiful review. Cannot give this guy enough praise for that review of Gran Turismo 7. Like it says, I will be streaming this game on Friday, probably for a while actually, because I love Gran Turismo Sport. I don't know, like I'm a big online racing fan. I'm looking forward to just jumping in online, getting racing with some real people. But I do want to try some of the other features as well. I want to be able to try the auction house. I'm willing to take the time to play it, to level up my cars, to get, win races, to get credits to buy new cars. I think it's going to be a fun journey, and I hope you'll join me for it. I'll be streaming it a lot over the next couple of months. I'm hoping to get my racing wheel set up. I might even try and buy like a little racing rig thing. Rather than back in the UK, I used to have this metal bar thing that I could attach the steering wheel to, the pedals attached to it as well. I could put the shifter on there too. I don't have that here, so I'm kind of limited to having to attach the wheel to my desk. But hopefully, maybe in the next couple of weeks or something, I might be able to buy like a little makeshift stand thing for the wheel, so I could just fold it down and put it away, rather than having to unclip it from the desk every time I stop playing and go back to it and whatnot. So yeah, I'm excited. Gran Turismo 7 is coming out on Friday. Come join us on stream. Come join us on the YouTube channel. Drop a like under this video. If you like the review, go follow Ollie on Twitter and check out the review on polygon.com. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this and listen to my opinion. I've been given my sort of commentary over the review. I'm just super excited for this game, man. I really am. I think Gran Turismo Sport killed it when it comes to multiplayer, and I just love the passion that these guys put into these games. Gran Turismo Sport, obviously, not Forza. As much as people love Forza, I don't know. It just seems Gran Turismo seems more authentic to me, and I love it. And they're not verging away from their history. They're embracing all the things that made Gran Turismo great in the first place, and I'm looking forward to falling in love with it all over again on Friday. So come join me. I'll see you then. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to me ramble on. I appreciate it. And like I says, thanks to Polygon, thanks to Ollie Welsh for the awesome review. Anyways, guys, take care. Have an amazing couple of days. It's almost the weekend. Hang in there. I love you. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and consider joining the the clan of Blaze2K by clicking that join button and becoming a member down below. Getting a badge next to your name, and getting some exclusive videos and content and whatnot. So, peace out, guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. It's Blaze2K signing out.